Stage is set, all ready to go for tonight's showdown. The primetime presidential debate will pit 7 candidates against each other this evening. All of them will be looking for that leg up, that moment that will set them apart in the final debate before voters get together to start their caucuses in Iowa next week. So joining me now is Fox News media analyst Howard Kurtz, host, of course, of Media Buzz, with the way that the media is approaching all of these developments that we've seen since we got here to Iowa. So Mr. Trump's choice, how does that change the way he's covered? How does it change things for him?
The man knows how to steal the spotlight. Look, a lot of pundits saying this is a brilliant move because he projects an aura of strength. He stands up to the media, favorite pinata all year. And he has utterly dominated the political conversation in the last 48 hours. Cruz, Rubio, and the rest all having to talk about Trump's absence. But there is a downside risk here, Martha. And for the first time, I'm seeing lots of people on social media saying Trump is ducking. There's even a hashtag, Donald Ducks, saying that he's afraid of tough questions. And here in Iowa, in a tight race, maybe some folks don't like the fact that he is bailing out on their debate.
You know, we've watched him change the dynamic of this race in many ways, obviously. He suggested that he's already done debates and he's maybe done with that. I mean, the more sort of the larger venue for him has been these rallies. So is he continuing to sort of change the way that candidates approach these things, perhaps?
I think that's the larger story here. Because, look, the media love to frame this as Donald Trump versus Megyn Kelly. I interviewed him a week ago in Las Vegas. He brought up to me then, Megyn Kelly should withdraw because she's biased against me. But I don't think that's really what happened here, or the fact that Fox put out a sarcastic statement that he didn't like. As he's done these interviews, and he has said, I've done 6 debates. Why am I on the stage with people who are, he says, at 0%, low single digits? The risk for him in getting, I mean, look, he's done well in these debates, particularly the last one. I thought he utterly won it. But with such a tight race on the caucuses on Monday, there could be a couple of moments tonight, had he been there, that could have hurt his candidacy. Instead, he gets to set the terms of the narrative and not expose himself to what Cruz or Rubio or anybody else might throw at him.
I mean, the rest of the folks on that stage are going to have a lot more oxygen as a result of this choice. So in terms of the coverage that they'll get, going to be different this time.
It's an opportunity for them, but also perhaps not the best outcome for Ted Cruz, rather than going one-on-one with the man he's closest to here in Iowa. He's going to be the subject of a lot of attacks. Meanwhile, as you know, Trump is staging his counter event, raising money for veterans, for networks that can't carry the debate while it's going on because it's a Fox News debate. I am sure that will get some coverage. I am sure if the ratings are not as good as they were at the first debate in Cleveland, Trump will declare victory. So it's kind of a mixed bag, and it just seems to me that if Trump was a few points behind Ted Cruz here in Iowa, I think he would be there tonight. The fact that he's now up 7, 8, 9 points, caucuses are notoriously hard to predict. In football terms, he might be sitting on his lead a little bit by deciding to opt out of this debate and generate his own media show.
We'll see. We got a ways to go before this evening rolls around. In terms of the other candidates, it will give them a lot more attention. I mean, a lot of headlines will be written about them tomorrow, and we'll give them some space to get some ideas out there in perhaps a less contentious mode. But you say you think they're going to go after Chris.
Oh, it's going to be very contentious because you're also going to have Chris Christie and Jeb Bush trying to climb out of their low poll standings for New Hampshire, which are make or break state for them. Marco Rubio has an opportunity here because he's now in 3rd place, but he hasn't quite caught on. And Ted Cruz, I mean, look, we all thought he was going to win Iowa a couple weeks ago when he was leading in the polls. He got sidetracked by Trumpian attacks on his Canadian birth and other matters, calling him a nasty guy and so forth. So it's an opportunity, but the idea that this is now going to be very polite and civil because Trump's not there, it's going to be very contentious because all these people are going to try to grab the added spotlight that they get and to do something with it while Donald Trump is across town doing his own thing.
Yeah, well, it's keeping the media busy. That's for sure. And the analysis of how it's all being covered has been talked about to such great extent, I think more than we've ever seen before in this presidential campaign. So it's keeping you busy and Media Buzz busy as well. Howie, thank you very much.
Thanks,
good to see you today. We'll see you tonight as well.
Love it.
Thanks,
we
Howie.
love all of it, right?
Absolutely.
History.
All right.
Here we go.